Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. It is the 22nd day of November, 2021. I hope you're COVID-free and healthy today. I hope your family's also COVID-free and healthy. And I hope the needs of your family and yourself in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as good health are being met. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, trying their best to save human lives. Blessing also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep our sidewalks and our streets from being rat infested and keep them clean. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries for us for our convenience. Double blessings on those trying to help deliver and save people that are on the dark side of this planet. What do I mean by that? People that are the victims of human trafficking and sex slavery, child molestation, and pedophilia. People that are the victims of pornography and child pornography. People that are the victims of prostitution and child prostitution. And curses upon those that dwell in the dark side and promote these things and support these disgusting industries. May they be double cursed. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. 600,000 men, women, and children that are like invisible people that dwell in the United States on the streets, and millions more around the world in even worse conditions. Blessings upon them. For though they be invisible to the humans, they're not invisible to the Creator. For theirs is the kingdom. And blessings also upon those that see them and are trying to help. There was a basketball game in Chicago last night. Our New York Knicks visited the United Center to play the Chicago Bulls. And they lost the game 104 to 103. I'm sorry, 109 to 103. They lost the game 109, 103. And as normal, there is a lot of subplots to this game. Now, overall, this game represented the 17th game of the season for the Knicks, the 17th game. So we're still early in the season. We're still early, and it's become more clear to me that Tom Thibodeau uses the early part of his season, especially when he has new people, to set rotations and to know basically who he can trust and who he can't trust, who he cannot trust. Now, he doesn't actually say a lot during the press conferences. He doesn't say a lot, especially in New York. Well, of course, if you're from New York, you would know why. Because people fly off the handle in New York, especially the media, but also the fans. So he doesn't divulge a lot. So you got to listen closely and carefully to him to see if he divulges anything. But what he does do, they say, there's an old saying from Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump said, Mama used to say, stupid is as stupid does. Well, I'll tell you what. Actions speak louder than words, and smart is as smart does as well. What do I mean by that? You have to just look at what he's doing in terms of his rotations, in terms of his players. For example, we talk about Kemba Walker. Some of y'all think I'm picking on Kemba Walker. Y'all need to get over that. I'm trying to analyze things so that I'm thinking this is how my Knicks can win, right? Because I want us to win. I want us to go deep in the playoffs. I want us to be in contention for the Eastern Conference. See, y'all be flying off the handle and looking for short-term. Trade everybody or trade somebody or save us with a trade. Stop it. Calm down. So with regard to Kemba, what have we noticed over the last, 6 games? What have you noticed? Have you noticed that Kemba has not seen a minute of the floor in the fourth quarter? Tom is not saying, I don't trust Kemba. In fact, he said the other day, we trust Kemba. But obviously, he does not trust him to close a game. So he's not going to make an announcement. And I'm just using that as an example. He's not going to make, and again, I'm using that as an example. I want y'all tripping on me. Y'all Knicks Nation, man. Don't drink too much coffee or something. But he makes changes subtly. And he doesn't announce them like that. So Evan Fournier was on the bench whining Saturday night because he had scored, some 3-pointers and he felt like he was in the flow and he wanted to be in the game in the fourth quarter. Okay, he was in the game in the fourth quarter and he played all right. Of course, yesterday, homie played 23 minutes, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3-point line, 1 of 2, including 1 missed technical foul, freebie. He had 3 points. I don't want to hear from Evan Fournier. I don't. I want his behind the play. I mean, start really playing. Put together a string of games like Saturday night. Then we could talk about your fourth quarter time. But obviously, Thibodeau wasn't having it because you ain't see Fournier in the fourth quarter either. Who did you see? Well, we look at the time. Kemba played 18 minutes. Fournier played 23 minutes. Toppin played 13 minutes. We're going to go to that in a second. 30 minutes for Derrick Rose. 29 minutes for Alec Burks. 25 minutes for Emmanuel Quickley. 39 minutes for Julius Randle and 33 minutes for RJ Barrett. That's who you were playing. Then you had Nerlens Noel for 26. Now, he would have played more, but the refs decided to take him out the game. I say the refs did. We were playing really good with Nerlens. I loved what they were doing defensively. We'll talk about that in a minute. But overall, this part of the video, what I want to make the point is, Tom is subtly making changes. He's not going to announce his changes. Now, I think we're all going to breathe a sigh of relief the day that he announces a change in the starting lineup, not due to injury, but due to just change. I still believe that's going to happen. Change is coming. But I don't know when, because he's not going to signal it. He's just going to show with the minutes what he's doing. Okay? But yesterday, let's start on a positive note. It was a grinded out game. I think it was Saturday night. No, Sunday, I did a video from the game before when we played Houston. Come to the discovery in my little thick brain that the Knicks are just simply a grinded out team. Doesn't matter who they're playing, they're going to grind. Very few, they might blow somebody out once in a while. You know, like when them threes are just falling like it was against Orlando, but that doesn't happen every night. It's generally a grinded out situation. And that's actually good because that means they'll get used to playing tough games, coming down the stretch, and hopefully learn how to win them. So they're going to be a grinded out team. And yesterday they grounded out. And you know what I liked about it? They gave effort. They were not giving up on plays, especially this is true of Julius. Forget his stats. A couple of times a shot was missed, and out of nowhere comes Julius to get the tough rebound and go back up. A couple of times there was a rebound that needed to be got, and he would get it. I was very impressed with that. That's what caught my eye. I mean, yes, he scored 31 or whatever it was. He scored, what did he score? 34. Yep, he had 34 points, 10 boards. He only had 3 assists, 5 turnovers. We know that's our boy Julius. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to do some low IQ turnovers. That's just him. But, you know, I love the hustle. I love the go after it, get after it spirit that I saw from him. And it kind of was like that the whole team. Him and Noel, they seem to bring that, you know, and when they're ready to do it, the team feeds off it, you see, more than anything else. And I love that attitude. And then that attitude of, I'm going to the basket because you're going to get up in my face for the 3. I'm going to flush it on you. And that's what he was doing. I like that. That bodes well for later in the season. Okay. I loved Julius's post-game press conference. To me, this was the best post-game press conference of the season for Julius Randle. You know what he said? It was almost as if he was parroting Tom Thibodeau. See, I like when you see the coach doing something and you got a guy that's on the floor that's an extension of the coach, and your coach is a good coach. And yes, Tom Thibodeau's a good daggone coach. Y'all need to stop tripping. Oh, I want Mark Jackson. Oh, I want this one and that one. Stop whining, daggone it. Take an X-Lax or something. But Tom Thibodeau's a good behind coach. And so Julius Randle was saying this. They asked him, man, you only took 3 threes. Or 2 threes for the whole game. Why? And he said, I'm taking what the defense gives me. Then he said, I let the defense dictate the play. I want to make the right play. Then they said, well, did you decide, basically, this is the question. I'm paraphrasing. Did you decide to just go off because none of your teammates were shooting well and you decided you got to carry them? He said, no, I trust my teammates. I just wanted to play basketball the right way. I love that, man. to me, okay, forget yesterday's game. Just going forward long term. If that remains his attitude, I'm going to play ball the right way. I want to take what the defense gives me. In other words, I'm not trying to force stuff. And brethren, did you notice they were playing him out of the pinch post yesterday? I mean, not all game, but a lot of the game, he was coming out of the pinch post. And he was letting go of the ball, Like one time, he did it so well. See, I'm that's not going to hate somebody because like some of y'all, I never wanted Julius and that. No. If he does the right thing, you got to give the boy his props. Yesterday, he caught the ball on the left side of the court. I think it was in the second half. It was in the first half. He caught the ball on the left side of the court and he started to make his move toward the baseline. You know how he does. He spins back, he goes to make a move. But then 3 Chicago Bulls came at him. He whipped that ball to somebody who whipped it to somebody else and it ended up being an open 3, which they splashed. I mean, the way that ball moved right there, and it started with Julius recognizing, and he didn't, it was 2 things he was doing that drive me crazy. Number 1, of course, he's trying to force through 3 guys sometimes. That's a problem. Number 2, he would recognize, when he's being double or triple teamed, but it would be a split second too late to give the defense time to recover. But he recognized it early, let the ball go quick, and the next guy let the ball go quick, and it was around the horn on the other side within a second, shot up, good. That's what you want. See, if he can continue to do that, what I'm saying overall is sometimes I see some really good things in Julius Randle that gives me hope for the future of this season. Because if he can continue to think like that, I got to let go of this ball. I gotta recognize when the double team is coming. I gotta take what the defense is giving me. I gotta put forth extreme hustle effort. When he does that, I hate when he dribbles the ball up. He dribbles too high. As you know, he dribbles too high and that creates turnovers. He gets very lackadaisical with the ball sometimes, trying to play point guard. But that's just, we're going to live with that. He did it yesterday. But overall, I loved what he brought to the table yesterday. If he could continue, he's not going to score 34 every game. I mean, he was 13 of 19. He's not going to do that every game. He got to get better in his free throws though. He was 7 of 8 yesterday. He was going 1 of 2 for a minute, but he's getting better now. And the 10 boards, 3 on the offensive end. We need that. Okay. So I was very happy with him yesterday. And I want you to also notice, let's move on. Because we were missing, because Mitchell Robinson was placed into concussion protocol because he got bashed in the nose by that fool from Houston on a fool kid Tate, bashing brothers in the nose like that. But he got concussion protocol, so he could not play yesterday. Hopefully he'll be back for the Lakers or at least for Phoenix on Friday. But so he is short at the 5. Julius had to play some 5, which forced our man Tom to play Obi. Now, what did Obi do? He only played 13 minutes, but he was 3 of 5 from the field, including 2 of 3 from 3. I told you, this kid starts hitting that jump shot, it's a wrap. He was 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And the touch was feathery. It wasn't even no hesitation. It wasn't no clanging. It was silk splash. And then 6 boards, 3 on the offensive end, 2 blocks. His defense was stellar. Now he was minus 13, but he was actually playing on the floor with the starting unit for a minute, and that's going to cause you to go minus for a minute. But Obi, we got to find some more time for this kid. And the problem, now I did a video, some of y'all was arguing with me because I mentioned trade with Obi. And I wasn't mentioning trade. Some of y'all got this mindset that G League is negative automatically and trade is negative. I'm not saying Obi's a star in the making. That's what he is. Okay. He's very similar. If you think Michael Porter Jr. is good, and he is, Obi and Michael Porter Jr. are a lot alike, except Obi is way more physical and explosive. Okay. And Denver played Michael Porter Jr., well, Obi's not getting that kind of minutes right now, but this kid's going to be the deal. And so, I I don't know what we're going to do. I mentioned trade because he's so good. If I'm his representation, I need to see him get more minutes. If I'm his rep, now you his agent, right? I mean, I've dealt with agents in the NBA, a little bit, okay? But I know enough about it that to be dangerous. But if I'm his representation, I need my guy to get more minutes. He's producing. He's helping the team win. As Tom said, he's contributing to winning. I need some more minutes for my guy. Okay? And the problem is going to be when it's time for his extension. You see, after this season, they start talking extension. His third season, they start talking extension. Okay? Now, they're going to go by his stats and stuff. And his stats are not going to be what you would want from a guy that's going to get a max extension, right? He's got max talent. I'd say, if, what's that cat's name on, Denver that he got drafted by the Magic, and he's on Denver now. And I think he got a 90 something million extension, and Obi's better than him. Okay. What's this cat's name? Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Y'all ain't got to tell me. I'm going to find Aaron Gordon. He's 26, he's 26 years old, 6'8", 235 out of Arizona. He's now making $16 million a year. And I want to tell you, Obi's better than him. It's not even like, Obi's better than him. Okay. Obi is now, how old is our boy Obi? Obi's like 23. He's going to be 24. So that's the thing when you draft a player that's a little older, because, he's going to be in his prime or close to his prime when his rookie deal is up. Okay. He's going to be close to his prime. Obi birthday's in March. So he's going to be like, let's see, he's 23 now. Yeah. Obi Toppin is going to be 24. I think he's 23. He'll be 24 in March. So, one time, he's going to be 2-3 years from his prime when his rookie deal comes up. So, that's what I'm saying. If I'm his representation, I'm saying either give him the money or trade him. Don't come up with this, well, he's only played limited minutes. That's not his fault. Okay? And so I don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to go small more and play Obi more. When they went that way yesterday, to me, that was one of the keys to the Knicks doing what they did. Especially when Noel was getting hit with these fouls and stuff. That's one of the keys here was the small ball. Okay. And shoot, man, they played well together, Obi and Ding. And then when they took him out, I don't even know. I can't remember can't remember who they subbed him in for, but I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you taking him out, man? So anyway, that's going to cause a problem later for us. If the Knicks don't learn how to get him some more minutes now, that's going to be a problem because this guy's too good. You can't start him over Randall. Some of y'all are going to come up with that. No, don't do that. You're not going to start him over Randall. You're not going to start him at all. You can't, cause you got two really good fives in Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel. So you can't start, but you can definitely, when you play that second unit, you can kind of augment that with Randall at the 5, and Obi at the 4. You could augment that, and give them 5 minutes on the floor together and then give Obi his normal second unit time. That's all I'm saying. Because this kid is the deal. So, I felt like we were shorthanding ourselves a little bit by not having him on the floor longer. The longer he gets on the floor, it seems like the better he becomes, and the good thing about him being under Thibodeau, there's a negative in that obviously he's not getting the minutes he wants right now, or he should get. But the positive is that he has learned to work hard and make himself the best NBA player that he can be. That's really big time. A lot of players don't learn that. Thibodeau, some of y'all don't understand. A guy like Thibodeau with Kenny Payne and Johnny Bryant behind him, they're going to make sure Obi Toppin works really hard the right way to learn how to play basketball the right way on the NBA level and to become the best NBA player he can be, which is going to be really good because this kid is talented. Okay. So I loved what I saw from him. Nerlens, the defense. Now, the defense, did you notice what they were doing? When Nerlens Noel was in the game to begin the game. And that's why, let's see, they held, and at least I know it was like going into the fourth quarter, and I don't think Levine had more than 14 points going into the fourth. He ended up with 21 at the end. He was doing his thing, but he was 7 for 20 and 0 for 5 from 3. And part of that was whoever was guarding him, whether it was RJ or usually it was RJ, but it could be RJ or Fournier, or sometimes it was D Rose or Burks, whoever was guarding him. When he got into his spots, Nerlens would flash the double team, and Nerlens is fast enough so that he could flash a double team to stop the forward progress of a Levine and get back to cover his man in his spot. And the Knicks were rotating too, and that was also excellent. That was excellent defense. The only thing I didn't like is when Nerlens was not in the game, or when he became like 4 or 5 fouls, they couldn't do that as much. And then that's when DeRozan, I told you, he is the premier mid-range scorer in the NBA. He is dynamite, especially during the season. Now, historically speaking, with all fairness, he freezes up in the playoffs. But historically speaking, during the NBA season, this ain't the first year he's averaged like 27, 28 points a game. He's done that in Toronto. Okay, so he's actually is getting better with time. He is getting better, but he is dynamite in the mid range. He loves the foul line area, and he gets there. And if you give him that, once he rises up, it's a wrap. It's done. So what they were doing when they had Nerlens out there is they were preventing him from getting to that spot. But then when Nerlens wasn't there, he was getting there. He was getting there almost at will. He ended up with 31. I mean, it was. He's rough, man. DeRozan is rough. There's just no two ways about it, especially in the mid-range. Like I said, I always said that he's the premier mid-range scorer in the NBA, okay? And he also was hitting some threes, which that's a tremendous improvement. He was 2 of 2 from 3. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he was good yesterday from 3. So he's a handful. But while Nerlens was in the game, we were able to keep them neutralized. That's what I'm saying. When he got out the game, it was a different story. So that was the problem right there. Now, RJ, 15 boards yesterday. Yeah, he gonna do that. Okay, he decided, okay, my shot's not falling. I'm gonna hit the boards. But he only had one turnover that he was credited with, but he looked like he made some bonehead plays yesterday. I mean, Steve did some bonehead plays. I don't know where his head is, and of course, he's having trouble finishing right now. RJ, prior to now, one of his strengths is the ability to finish. He's a finisher, man. Yes, he does. But you have not seen it in like the last 3 games. He gets to the basket and misses. I don't know what's going on. I think he's trying to adjust to the physicality that the refs are so inconsistent. They let you guys get physical sometimes, and then they call ticky-tack fouls other times. It's really inconsistent. If they were just going to call all ticky-tack fouls or not, that's fine. But just be consistent, but they're not consistent. And that's what's costing us. It's costing us. And it's costing RJ, I think, because he's used to getting the ticky-tack fouls called against the opponent. He wasn't getting them. Now, at the end of the game yesterday, he did hit some tough. I looked like he adjusted, went closer to the basket, got a couple of 3-point opportunities because he got close to the basket on an out-of-bounds play, and another one cutting without the basketball. And, it worked out very well. And I like that. Using his right hand, to close. He was +6 yesterday, and he only scored 9 points, but the 15 boards, that's what you're going to get from him. When he's not scoring, he's going to look. I don't like it when he doesn't have no boards, no points, no assists. That's terrible. But yesterday, you could see he focused on cleaning up the glass on the defensive end and starting a break. Hey, that's really good. We want that. So I think RJ will be fine. It's just another step in his maturation. That's what you're seeing right here. I mentioned Obi D Rose. 3 of 11 yesterday. He's still, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's hurt and he's playing through it. I don't know what it is, but he's just not what we come to expect, especially the last 3 games from D Rose. He's just not what I think the last time we saw the D Rose we love was against Pacers a week ago. He was our D Rose, but, other than that, we haven't really seen it. And it's only been a week, but it seems like forever. So I'm hoping that against the Lakers, he comes back and becomes, do what he does. But 3 of 11 yesterday. He's missing some shots that he normally hits. He had 3 blocks though. And the 3 blocks were real blocks. I mean, they weren't like blocks where he just happened to be there. No. I think he blocked 2 of Lonzo Ball's shots, and he blocked somebody else coming. He's been doing that recently. So one thing, again, the effort. You're going to get that every night from Derrick Rose. And I love that. He just wasn't scoring what we expect now. Alec Burks also, he played 29 minutes, really tremendous defensively. 13 points. He's going to do it. He had 5 fouls also, some stupid fouls they called on him. But, and we saw Grimes sighting yesterday. He was on the court for less than a minute. I don't know why. I really don't know what. I mean, Tom, I think, was matching up with something that I think he was matching him up with Kobe White at the close of a half or something. But these kids need some more time. But like I said, I believe at the end of the day, one day we're going to all breathe a sigh of relief as there's going to be a change. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there's going to be a change. You cannot continue to do this. Now, Kemba Walker came. He scored 7. And he played good. Most of that was, I think, the third quarter. But look, man, it's been so bad that when he does that, he's like, oh, great, he scored. But look, man, where's the 19 points? And again, Fournier 3 points. I'm not trying to hear y'all. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not. So I'm thinking if we continue to see this, we're going to see a change. I don't know who the change is going to be. One of them, because this is the problem offensively. I saw this also yesterday. The reason for the lack of ball movement. Now, yesterday, remember we were trying to get 25 assists a game? Knicks had 16 assists yesterday. And the reason for that. Now, one of the reasons, in all fairness, they were trying to guard Julius Randle one-on-one. First, they tried Caruso and they tried Lonzo. And when Julius figured out what they were doing, he started dominating whoever was guarding him. You cannot guard him one-on-one, especially when his mind is in the game, right? Like it was yesterday. So you're not going to guard him one-on-one. And they couldn't. But that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is Kemba also is a type of a guy that you cannot guard one-on-one when he's really on his game. Like when he's offensively on his game, you cannot guard him one-on-one. And the problem is that Kemba will see a situation where he knows he could take his guy off the dribble. And he tries to do it. That stops the ball movement though, right? And if he's not scoring when he does that, even if he is scoring, there's no ball movement. And oftentimes the Knicks will come down the floor and ideally you would want to see every player touch the basketball. Like if you watch Utah play or you watch the Spurs play, everybody touches the ball. Not everybody's going to shoot, but everybody touches the basketball. It's moving. A lot of times the Knicks will come down and that's not the case. There's a shot going up with 1 or 2 guys touching the basketball. That's why you're having a stagnant offense. Okay. I don't know if Tom is going to, force them, or I don't know what he's going to do, because he seems to have so much respect for these veterans. He almost lets them do what they want. I don't know. But they all need to touch the basketball before it goes up. That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to touch the ball before it goes up. That right there creates some ball movement. No matter how it ends up, you're getting in the habit of ball movement. Just like I say on the defensive end, the Knicks need 3 trips down where they can get stops and then they'll make a run. I still believe that. So anytime we can get 3 stops in a row, we can come back. We can start to come back or we can extend a lead. Well, if we can get 3 times in a row down the floor where everybody touches it, you're going to see the establishment of ball movement. Okay. And that's what we need. But they haven't done that. That's the problem. So they're not, nobody's coming down 3 times in a row and getting, so either they're throwing into Julius and he's going what he does, or Kemba's doing what he's doing, but there's not, and RJ and Fournier. See, not every player in the NBA are talented enough to take you off the dribble on a consistent basis. RJ does it sometimes. Fournier does it sometimes. But generally speaking, those 2 cats, are really good at moving without the basketball, as RJ showed yesterday, and so is Fournier. And so that type of player will get in a rhythm off ball movement, so they'll, and RJ's threes, when he is hitting them, it's off of ball movement and he's getting an open 3. So to me, that's the issue with the offense that I'm seeing. There's a stagnation because there's the temptation of a Julius or a Kemba to take their player off to take the defender off the dribble. They're both capable of doing that, especially Kemba. He really is. But there's no ball movement when that happens. Okay. And so you're now creating a situation where you're establishing the lack of ball movement. Okay. Kemba might even be successful. Like he's done it. Like in the third quarter yesterday, he came off the dribble a couple of times and he was scoring, man. He was scoring off the mid-range shot. He was getting to the basket. I mean, he only scored 7 points. It's not like he set the world on fire, but I'm saying he was scoring and that's good. But when him doing that, you're not seeing any ball movement. Okay. You're not seeing it. That's the flip side of that. You're not seeing the ball movement. If that ball would move around and then he goes, now everybody got a chance to touch it before he went. You see what I'm saying? And so if you could do that a couple times down the floor, you can establish the fact that you're now moving the basketball. Okay. I don't know if they're going to make that adjustment or not. I'm not the coach, but we'll see. But that's what I'd like to see. Now, coming up, we're playing. Oh, let me just touch on Quick. Quick was not shooting the ball well yesterday, but he's the type of guy you just want him to be aggressive anyway. Because he takes good shots. Usually, even those threes that he hoists up, he hits those. You know, that's his shot. That's part of his game. And he's playing much better defense, Quick is. And he plays with an IQ. And he's now learning to go to the basket. He hit one when he went into the lane, into the key and got a nice layup. Hey, I like Quick. I want to see him start, but that's just me. I'm not saying he's a point guard or not. It's not even worth discussing at this point. He's just a good basketball player. I'd like to have him in the starting lineup. I think he understands the ball movement situation. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but he played good yesterday. He only scored 12 points. He was 4 of 11, 1 of 8 from 3. He was off 3 of 3 from the line. You can count on him to hit his foul shot. Only 1 turnover. You know, I mean, he's quick. And I like Quickly. I mean, he really, I would not mind seeing him start. Okay. But that's just me. So going forward, we play the Lakers on Tuesday night. LeBron, I can 100% guarantee you he's not going to play. Why? Because he did a dirty, cheap behind move by elbowing Isaiah Stewart when he wasn't looking and bloodied up his face. You know, then tried to act like he ain't do nothing. Stewart was going to take LeBron's head off. See, LeBron is old now. Big, strong, but these young boys ain't going to have it. So he's going to be suspended. At least he should be suspended for at least 2 games. I don't know. You know, we'll see what happens. But he bowed that boy in the eye, and eye blood coming out of his eye. You know, it was terrible, man. And so, and the boy wasn't even, it was a foul shot or something. And the boy was just running back and LeBron caught him coming and just bowed him. No, he's not playing Tuesday night. They're coming to the Garden and he's not playing. Okay. So he's done for this coming game. We got a good shot against them. They were getting, and the reason LeBron was upset is Detroit was beating they behind before that. Now, after LeBron left, Detroit being a young team gave him a chance to come back, and then Melo came off the bench, and Melo's a really good piece coming off the bench. He's not a starter anymore, but man, you give him that spot up 3, and that's what they did, and he was killing them. So they came back and they won. Okay, but let me tell you something. I've been saying from the beginning of the season, the Lakers are not winning no championship this year. They done their championship days with LeBron are over. Okay, the rent, everybody see with LeBron, every team he's gone on since he's been on Miami been like this. You get LeBron and a big 2 or a big 3, right? You sign them and then you get a whole bunch of temporary players. They're all temps, right? Some guys chasing rings, some young temps, everybody on minimum deals, and you try to win championship. Now that worked in Miami. They won 2 championships. It worked in Cleveland, but Cleveland was a little different because they had a big 3, right? Again, they had Kyrie and they signed Kevin Love. And then it was the same thing. Then they had some ancillary players. And then he comes to LA, right? And so they get Anthony Davis. Now you got a big 2, and then they get a whole bunch of ring chasers and ancillary players. Well, now LeBron is a seriously generational talent, you know, but even him, age, you know, old man time don't lose to nobody. Father time don't lose to nobody. And it's catching up to him now. See? So I'm predicting unless he becomes the second fiddle on a championship team, if he's going to be the center of the universe, his team ain't winning no championship. No, that's over. Or he got a whole bunch of old cats. They're not winning no championship. Not in the West. They're not even coming out the West. I'm telling you. So I'm not even like he don't bring me that fear no more, LeBron. So we got a good shot Tuesday night. We got to come to play, of course. We got to come to play. I don't know what Tim's game plan going to be. Probably going to start the same, starting five, but we got a chance to win this game. We'll review that, Tuesday before tomorrow, before the game, we'll review that. But anyway, it is what it is. We grinding. Knicks are grinding. We just got to keep grinding. We got to keep grinding. I predict a win on Tuesday against the Lakers. We should win that game. And we're going to keep grinding. Just keep grinding. We got a tough one coming up after that. In fact, this whole trip is tough. By the way, the tough schedule coming is actually good for the Knicks. You know why I say it's good for the Knicks? Because they play to the competition, right? They've been playing to the competition. They're a grinded out team. This will help sharpen the grinded out. And if we are weak in the starting five, it's going to be exploited. That will force Tom to make changes lest he keep getting spanked, right? So this is a good thing. We're coming up with a really tough part of the schedule. It's tough enough so we get like 2 or 3 games on the road, followed by 2 or 3 games at home. It's not like going to be in March when we're like, I think 7 straight games on the road or something like that. But it's going to be a grinded out schedule right now between now and Christmas Day. This is where you're going to start to see Tom try to make some changes, I think, because it's going to bring out the best in the Knicks. This is good. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. This video is a little longer than I normally make them. Sorry about that. But enjoy the day. Shalom.